Traditional electric heat pumps struggled to deliver comfort and efficiency in cold temperatures. When the electric heat pump can't deliver the desired indoor temperature, the unit's backup system is engaged, which typically relies on electric resistance strip heating. This increases the electric demand by 3 to 4 times and still fails to provide consistent heat. The Heat Pump Companion features hybrid technology to bring the comfort of hydronic gas heat using natural gas or propane to newly installed or pre-existing heat pumps. Working with an existing thermostat, an air handler module communicates to a tankless water heater or boiler to circulate hot water through a hydronic coil that has been installed in the air handler. The result is improved efficiency, lower operating costs, and greater comfort for homeowners. In this video, we're going to show you how simple it is to install the Heat Pump Companion by replacing the existing electric heat strip with a hydronic coil and connecting a controller module. We have also provided installation instructions with step-by-step tasks, which you will find in your Heat Pump Companion kit. The Heat Pump Companion is compatible with various air handlers and can utilize a tankless water heater, boiler, or combi boiler. Typically, you will use the appliance that the homeowner already has in their house. Tanked water heaters can also be used as long as they have the proper capacity. For this demonstration, we'll be using a tankless water heater and the corresponding Rinnai Heat Pump Companion Kit 1, which is RHPC 1. If your customer has a boiler or combi unit, we'll use RHPC2 or RHPC3 kits, and you'll need a few other pieces of equipment. You can find the details in the installation manual. Now back to this install with Kit 1 and the RX199 tankless water heater. In Kit 1, you'll find the ROM100 controller, Rinnai HPC plumbing kit with a 3-point mixing valve, temperature gauge, and heating system shutoff valves, flange stainless steel circulation pump with internal flow check, circulation pump flange with a 3/4 threaded shutoff. It'll include 2 flanges, 4 nuts, and 4 bolts. A 10K ohm thermistor cable and clamp. An OPU, which functions as our domestic priority switch. For this installation of Kit 1, we are using 3/4 inch copper tubing. However, you can also use 1-inch PEX as well. For Kits 2 and 3, confirm that your plumbing fixtures are compatible with the corresponding temperature and pressure. An appropriately sized hydronic coil. Sizing the coil is very important. You need to check 3 things. First, get the brand and model number from the data plate on the side of the heat pump air handler. Second, measure the length and width of the existing air handler. Remember, your heat coil opening will be larger than the air handler. This is the reason for the air diverter located in the coil. Finally, you need to confirm the coil can handle the required heat load. To do that, you'll need to either conduct a heat load analysis for the house using Manual J. If you are uncertain, please call the Rinnai Center of Excellence and one of our applications engineers will help you properly size the coil. This QR code takes you to a form with all the required information, like the dimensions and brand. Submit the completed form and a Rinnai engineer will respond to you within 48 hours. Those are the unique things, but you also want to make sure you've got these standard tools. Finally, let's review the location selection. The controller does have freeze protection, but you should be aware of the location in the home. Ideally, these systems would be in an insulated area. If not, you may need to insulate some piping. A full list of safety symbols and precautions can be found in the installation instructions, but as a reminder, the Heat Pump Companion should only be installed by a qualified professional. Make sure to use safety glasses and work gloves. Shut off the natural gas or propane to the boiler or tankless water heater. Only install the Heat Pump Companion indoors, not outside. First, disconnect the primary power to the air handler. Shut off the water supply to the tankless water heater or boiler. Turn off the tankless water heater, unplug it, and drain the water from the unit. Ensure that the primary power and low voltage lines are entering the air handler enclosure through its side and not the top or bottom of the unit. Remove existing ductwork or plenum attached to the outlet of the air handler. Attach the thermistor cable using the clamp to return side pipe on the inside of the hydronic coil. Now thread the thermistor cable through the rubber grommet in the hydronic coil casing so the wire hangs outside, while the sensor remains clamped on the inside of the return side pipe. Attach the hydronic coil to the top of the air handler and seal any openings to prevent air leakage. The hydronic coil will sit on top of the air handler and fit across the entire length and width of the unit. Make sure to look at the air diverter and the hole on top of the air handler so that it's positioned correctly over the opening. Pro tip: the front of the hydronic coil has the two pipes. That should be facing forward. Connect the discharge duct to the outlet of the coil and seal it using the sheet metal screws and tape. You will have to make adjustments to the existing ductwork based on the size of the coil. We have pre-cut ours for the purpose of this video. Install water lines between the hot water coil and the tankless water heater using the provided Rinnai plumbing kit. We attach the plumbing kit with the help of an additional union, making it easier to connect to the tankless water heater valve kit. Also, you'll see we attach the HPC recirculation pump with the provided flanges and isolation valves. The expansion tank is connected at the bottom to the cold water inlet line. Finally, we've started extending the copper pipe to the hydronic coil and toward the main house. Next, complete the piping from the water heater to the hydronic coil and back for the return. Install the air eliminator to the highest point in the plumbing configuration. Now we will hang the ROM 100 controller, which can be mounted on the wall or on the air handler. Make sure the wall can support the weight of the controller and any other components needed. If you're installing on the air handler itself, use appropriate screws such as zip screws. You're going to want to use a level for this to make sure it's straight. Then use a driver to mount the controller. Disconnect and remove the air handler electric strip wiring. Remove any extra wire or properly cap any remaining ends. Remember to check your state and local codes for requirements related to this installation. Remove the cover of the tankless water heater and mount the OPU domestic priority switch inside. Connect general purpose thermostat wire to the OPU or domestic priority switch. Thread the wire through one of the bottom grommets and reattach the tankless water heater cover. Connect the appropriate power source to the mounted ROM 100 controller. In this install, our pump is a 120 volt pump. If there are multiple electric strips and a sequencer, disconnect all of them to prevent unit sequencing in the first stage of heating. Now you want to connect all the components. The thermostat, the air handler, and the heat pump companion controller will all talk to one another. In the installation instructions, you'll find the wiring diagram, but we will walk through it here as well. This is the Rinnai Heat Pump Companion controller, ROM 100. And this is where the communication happens between the air handler thermostat and heating units like the Rinnai tankless water heater and/or boiler. Start with the low voltage lines. We'll go in order left to right. Remember, your thermostat should already be wired to the existing air handler. Connect R to the air handler and the thermostat. Connect the first C to the thermostat C terminal. Connect the next C to the air handler C terminal. Connect from the thermostat to the companion. Connect G into the thermostat G terminal. Connect G out to the air handler G terminal. The next two terminals are for the OPU. You'll see they're labeled OPU-I for OPU in and OPU-O for out. Go ahead and connect those. The next two terminals are specific to boiler installations, so we won't be using those today. The next section has two terminals labeled NTC. These should be connected to the thermistor. Now we'll move on to the high voltage section. Again, we'll work our way from the outside in. The three terminals on the far right are the pump terminals. The outer two are for hot and neutral. Note, these are interchangeable. And the third one is the ground terminal. After connecting those, your final connection will be to the power supply, which are the three remaining terminals. Now let's adjust the 6 dip switches in the red box on top of the controller board. The first 4 switches adjust the pump exercise settings. This helps prevent water stagnation during times of low usage. Reference the manual to determine the preferred dip switch settings. Wiring connections and a plumbing schematic are also laid out in the instruction manual. It is critical the dip switches are set correctly for the unit to function properly. And don't forget to snap the plastic cover back on when you're done. Shut off the isolation valves and turn on the water supply to the tankless water heater. Both the power and gas should remain off at this point. Open the pressure relief valve to fill the tankless water heater. Stop when the water is discharged. Bleed air from the system by opening the hot water faucet that is the furthest from the tankless water heater. Close the faucet when the water starts discharging from it. Open the cold water isolation valve. Pause while you listen and look for leaks. Open the hot water isolation valve. Again, pause while you listen and look for leaks. You'll do the same for the ball valve fixture that feeds the air handler. The isolation valve above the pump, the isolation valve below the pump, and the valve from the air handler to the water heater return. Open the main gas valve. Restore the electrical power to the air handler and the tankless water heater. That's it. Now the Heat Pump Companion system is operational. Complete your post-installation checklist per your company's policies as well as the manufacturer's checklist. You can always refer to the installation instructions that come with your kit for step-by-step instructions. But as you can see, this is a fairly simple install, and you've provided a lot of value, efficiency, and comfort for the customer. Now you know that the Heat Pump Companion is simple to install, and you've provided your customer with a more efficient and more comfortable solution. The Heat Pump Companion reduces heating costs. By switching from the inefficient and expensive electric heat to propane or natural gas-powered hydronic heat, your customers save money by reducing their electricity usage. It also reduces electric demand. With less demand and reliance on the electric grid means dependable heat during load shedding periods. In residential applications with a standby generator, your customer may be able to downsize to a smaller generator solution and still meet the needs of the household. And of course, the increased comfort that gas heat provides. Your customers can say goodbye to the dryness and unpleasant odor caused by electric heat strips. This simple solution saves money for heating the home while providing greater comfort. one gas line, one vent with the Rinnai tankless water heater doing the job of two appliances, as it provides both unlimited hot water and space heating for the home. For more information on the Heat Pump Companion, go to rinnai.us, or if you're in Canada, visit rinnai.ca. You can also call the Rinnai Center of Excellence, and one of our applications engineers can assist you. Thank you for watching the Heat Pump Companion installation video.